Good morning, this is Ms. Correa, and I want to talk about frequently asked questions on this isosceles and equilateral triangles paper. So the frequently asked questions were on numbers 5, 7, 8, and 9. So we're going to do those together really quick. So on number 5, this is what we call an equilateral triangle, which means that all three of these sides are the same, which means all three of these angles are the same. And when a triangle is equal to 180 degrees and all three angles are the same, we can just do 180 divided by 3 to get the value of each of these angles. So that means that this angle, 10x, equals 60. And this angle, 12y, equals 60. And then we can solve it from there, right? We're going to divide both sides by 10, and we get x equals 6. And we're going to divide both sides by 12, and we're going to get y equals 5. And so that's number 5. Looking at number 7 is an isosceles triangle. We know that because 2 of the sides are the same. If 2 of these sides are the same, that means 2 of these angles are the same. So we can go ahead and label the other side as 70. And then another rule here is that whenever you have a line right down the middle that creates 2 equal angles in a triangle, then that means that this is a right angle, meaning this is 90 degrees on both sides, okay? So that means that the y equals 90 and that other angle is 90 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and write in 90 down here with the y, okay? Now I get to find the value of x. So I know when I look at the value of x here, I'm going to look at this triangle. And I already know 2 of the 3 angles inside that triangle. So we're going to add them together. 70 plus 90 equals 160. And then we're going to subtract from 180. 180 minus 160 equals 20. Okay, so that's number 7. Let's look at number 8. This is kind of the same deal in that it is also an isosceles triangle, because we have 2 sides that are the same, and it has a line drop down the middle with 2 angles that are the same, so we know that this angle equals 90 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and label that so we can remember that, okay? And so that being said, I now know 2 of the 3 angles, right? I know that because inside this little bitty triangle, I know 52 and I know 90, so I'm going to do 52 plus 90, and that's going to give me 142. And then I'm going to subtract that from 180. And that's going to give me my final answer of 38. Okay, so that means my y equals 38. But we know this is an isosceles triangle, remember, because these 2 angles are the same. This larger triangle is isosceles. And so that means that angle y is also the same as angle x. So I'm going to write in 38 for angle x as well. All right. Taking a look at number 9, this triangle is an equilateral triangle, and we know this because it has 3 little lines on each side. This line can be a little hard to see because it, gets mixed in with this longer line in the side of the triangle that we'll use here in a little bit. But see how it sticks out? So you know that there are 3 lines here, so these sides are equal, which means these angles are equal. And if the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees, that means I can divide by 3 and get the value of each of the angles inside an equilateral triangle, and that is 60 degrees. So to find angle x and angle y, I can just set those equal to 60 and do 20x equals 60. I can do 5y equals 60 and solve. So divide both sides by 20 and you get x equals 3. Divide both sides by 5 and you get y equals 12. All right, now for this third angle here, this 15z, notice this 15z is just for half of this angle. There is another 15z here. So in order to set this equal to 60, I have to add them together. 15z plus 15z equals 60. which means that 30z equals 60. I divide both sides by 30, and I get z equals 2. Oh, and I just realized I wrote that 12 in the wrong spot. Y equals 12 and z equals 2.